You never saw it coming. Not because you were naive, not because you were weak, not because you weren't paying attention. Because they were invisible. No rage, no obvious cruelty, no red flags screaming at you from day one. Just warmth, sensitivity, kindness. Someone who seemed to finally understand you completely. Someone who seemed almost too good to be true. And that's exactly what they were. The covert narcissist is the most dangerous personality type most people will never learn to identify. Because everything you've been taught to look for in a narcissist, the arrogance, the grandiosity, the obvious selfishness, none of it applies here. The covert narcissist wears the mask of the victim, the empath, the misunderstood soul. And by the time you finally see who they really are, they've already taken everything. This is the one nobody talks about. The one nobody sees coming. Until now. What is a covert narcissist? When most people hear the word narcissist, they picture someone obvious. Loud. Arrogant. Constantly talking about themselves. Openly dismissive of others. That's the overt narcissist. And yes, they exist. But the covert narcissist is something entirely different. Same disorder, same core wounds, same fundamental inability to truly connect with or care about another human being, but completely different presentation. Where the overt narcissist demands admiration openly, the covert narcissist creates situations where admiration flows to them naturally. Where the overt narcissist is visibly selfish, the covert narcissist appears selfless while secretly keeping score of every single thing they've ever done for you. Where the overt narcissist attacks directly, the covert narcissist wounds with silence, sighs, subtle guilt, and plausible deniability. You can never quite put your finger on what they're doing. You just know something feels wrong. And when you try to explain it to someone else, you sound crazy. Because on the outside, they look like the most caring, sensitive, misunderstood person in the room. That gap between who they appear to be and who they actually are is the weapon. And it's devastating. Sign 1. They play the victim constantly. The covert narcissist is always the most suffering person in any room. Every conversation eventually circles back to their pain, their struggles, how hard their life has been, how nobody truly understands them. And because they present as sensitive and wounded, you feel compelled to comfort them, to pour your energy into making them feel better, while your needs go completely unaddressed. This isn't accidental. The victim role keeps you focused on them, keeps you feeling needed, and gives them a permanent excuse for every failure, every cruelty, every disappointment they deliver. Nothing is ever their fault. They're always the one who was wronged. Sign 2. Passive aggression is their native language. The covert narcissist never attacks directly. That would be too obvious. Instead, they wound through. Sighs. Long silences. Backhanded compliments. Subtle eye rolls. Withholding warmth without explanation. I'm fine when they are clearly not fine. The message is always delivered, just never in a way you can directly confront. And when you try to address it, what do you mean? I didn't say anything. You're so sensitive. I was just joking. The wound was real. The weapon was invisible. Sign 3. They have a secret superiority complex. Here's what makes the covert narcissist so confusing. They seem humble, almost self-deprecating. But underneath that humility is a deep, private belief that they are more intelligent, more sensitive, more special than everyone around them. They're not jealous of other people's success. They're quietly outraged by it. Because in their internal world, they deserve more than they have. They're underestimated. Overlooked. The misunderstood genius that the world hasn't properly recognized yet. That quiet superiority leaks out in subtle ways. Dismissing your opinions while pretending to consider them. Finding intellectual flaws in everything you say. A barely perceptible condescension in how they explain things to you. You feel talked down to, but you can never quite prove it. Sign 4. They use guilt as currency. The covert narcissist is a master of making you feel responsible for their emotional state. They don't demand. They suffer visibly and let you draw your own conclusions. They don't ask for what they want. They create situations where saying no makes you feel like a monster. They don't punish you directly. They withdraw warmth and let you scramble to figure out what you did wrong. Guilt is how they get what they want, and they deploy it with surgical precision. Sign 5. They are hypersensitive to criticism. Any feedback, no matter how gently delivered, is experienced as a devastating attack. A simple, "I felt hurt when you said that," becomes a full emotional crisis where suddenly you are the problem. You are cruel. You don't appreciate them. This hypersensitivity serves two purposes. First, it means you quickly learn never to bring anything up. The cost is too high. Second, it keeps you walking on eggshells, constantly monitoring your words to avoid triggering their pain. You become their emotional caretaker. Your needs become secondary to managing their fragility. Sign 6. They withhold intimacy as punishment. Not sex necessarily, though that too. Emotional intimacy. When the covert narcissist is displeased, warmth disappears. The conversations become surface level. Eye contact decreases. Touch disappears. The emotional connection that made you fall for them simply vanishes without explanation. And you, desperate to get back to the warmth you remember, will do almost anything to restore it. That withholding is deliberate. It's control disguised as emotional sensitivity. Sign 7. They are secretly envious of everyone. The covert narcissist privately envies almost everyone around them. Your achievements, your relationships, your happiness, your freedom. But instead of expressing it as jealousy, they subtly undermine. A well-timed observation about why your success might not last. A gentle question about whether your friend is really as trustworthy as you think. A concern expressed about your choices that slowly plant seeds of doubt. You never feel directly attacked. You just gradually feel less confident, less certain, more dependent on their perspective. That's the goal. Sign 8. They give to take. The covert narcissist can appear incredibly generous. They do favors, they help, they give. But every single act of generosity is an investment, not a gift. They are keeping score, meticulously. And when the time comes to collect, the debt will be called in with interest. After everything I've done for you, I've always been there for you, and this is how you treat me. The giving was never unconditional. It was a transaction you didn't know you were making. You just learned the 8 signs of a covert narcissist. The victim role. Passive aggression. Secret superiority. Guilt as currency. Hypersensitivity. Withholding intimacy. Hidden envy. Giving to take. If you're sitting there recognizing someone right now, stay with me. Because the next section reveals something even more disturbing. How they chose you. Why you specifically. And what they saw in you that made you the perfect target. This isn't about blame. It's about understanding a predator's psychology so completely that they can never use it against you again. Keep going. The covert narcissist doesn't choose randomly. They are extraordinarily perceptive. Almost predatory in their ability to identify exactly who will serve their needs best. Here's who they target. Target 1, the highly empathetic. If you feel things deeply, if other people's pain becomes your pain, if your instinct is always to help, to fix, to heal, you are exactly who they're looking for. Your empathy is their oxygen. Your need to help gives them an endless source of attention, energy, and emotional labor. They don't love your empathy, they feed on it. Target 2, the achiever with something to prove. Someone who has built something, who has status, capability, resources. The covert narcissist attaches to your success and reflects in its glow while privately resenting every inch of it. They chose you for what you have and what you represent. Not for who you are. Target 3, the healer. If you have a history of trying to fix broken people, if you're drawn to people who need saving, if love feels most real when someone needs you, the covert narcissist's carefully performed brokenness was designed for you. They knew that presenting as wounded and misunderstood would trigger every instinct in you to stay, to help, to love harder. Target 4, someone with existing wounds. If you grew up feeling unseen, unloved conditionally, or emotionally neglected, the covert narcissist's initial warmth and understanding feels like finally being truly seen. They study your wounds before they deploy the love bombing. They know exactly which doors to unlock, and once they're in, those same wounds become the chains. Section 3. The Covert Narcissist's Tactics. Understanding what they do is one thing. Understanding how they do it is what actually protects you. Tactic 1. Darvo. Deny. Attack. Reverse. Victim and offender. You confront them about something that hurt you. They deny it happened, then attack your character for bringing it up. Then position themselves as the real victim of your cruelty in confronting them. In 60 seconds, you went from person with a legitimate grievance to abuser. And somehow, you're apologizing. Tactic 2. Triangulation. They introduce a third party to create insecurity. An ex they're still close to. A friend who really understands them. Someone who appreciates them in ways you apparently don't. The message is never direct, just enough to make you feel replaceable. To make you compete. To make you work harder for their attention. Tactic 3. The slow erosion. This is their most powerful weapon. And it works because it's invisible. They don't destroy your self-esteem in one attack. They erode it. Slowly. Incrementally. Over months and years. A subtle comment here, a withheld compliment there, a comparison to someone else. A moment where your excitement is met with indifference. Each one is small enough to dismiss. Together, they hollow you out. By the time you realize what happened, you no longer recognize the confident person you used to be. Tactic 4. Plausible deniability. The covert narcissist never does anything they can't explain away. I was just being honest. You're reading into it. I was worried about you. I thought you'd want to know. Every wound comes wrapped in concern, honesty, or care. You feel the blade, but you can never hold up the weapon. This is why you sound crazy when you try to explain it to others. Because what they did, in isolation, sounds almost reasonable. Only you know the pattern. Only you felt the accumulation. You now understand the 8 signs, who they target, the tactics they use. If you're feeling something shift right now, that's recognition. That's your mind finally putting language to something your body has known for a long time. The next section is about what living with a covert narcissist actually does to you. The specific damage, the specific wounds. Because understanding the injury is the first step to healing it. Keep going, we're halfway there. Living with a covert narcissist doesn't break you dramatically. It dismantles you quietly. They make you question your perception. You experienced something. It hurt. You tried to address it. And somehow, by the end of the conversation, you're wondering if you imagined it. This is called gaslighting. And the covert narcissist is its master practitioner. Done subtly enough, over a long enough period, you stop trusting your own mind. They exhaust you. The constant emotional labor. The eggshell walking. The managing of their sensitivity. The processing of their pain while yours goes unacknowledged. You are tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. Because the exhaustion isn't physical. It's the exhaustion of being perpetually responsible for another person's emotional world while yours is consistently invisible. They isolate you. Not dramatically, not obviously, but slowly your friendships thin out. Your family feels further away. The people who knew you before seem harder to reach. Because the covert narcissist makes outside relationships feel complicated, costly, not worth the emotional aftermath, until they are the center of your world. By design. They shrink you. The person you were before, the confidence, the joy, the certainty in your own perception, gets smaller, quieter, more uncertain. You apologize more, assert yourself less, second guess constantly. That shrinking was the goal. A smaller you is easier to control. You've learned everything about how the covert narcissist operates. The signs, the targets, the tactics, the damage. If you're sitting there feeling seen right now, hold on to that feeling. Because being seen is the beginning of everything. The final section is about getting out, getting clear, and getting yourself back. Because everything they took, your confidence, your perception, your sense of self, it's still there, just buried under everything they piled on top of it. Stay with me. This is where it turns. Step 1. Name it. The most powerful thing you can do is give it a name. What happened to you wasn't confusion. It wasn't a difficult relationship. It wasn't two imperfect people struggling to connect. It was psychological abuse. Systematic, deliberate, designed. Naming it doesn't make you a victim. It makes you someone who finally understands what they survived. Step 2. Trust your perception again. They spent months or years teaching you not to trust yourself. The healing begins when you decide to trust yourself anyway. Start small. Notice what you feel. Let yourself feel it without immediately questioning whether you have the right to. Your perception was always real. Your feelings were always valid. The gaslighting was the lie, not your experience. Step 3. Rebuild your support system. The isolation was intentional. The reconnection is essential. Reach back out to the people who knew you before. Let them remind you of who you were. Let them reflect back the person the covert narcissist tried to erase. You don't have to explain everything. Just let people back in. Step 4. Understand why you stayed. Not to blame yourself. To understand yourself. The trauma bond, the hope for the golden period to return, the exhaustion that made leaving feel impossible. All of it makes sense. All of it was by design. Understanding the mechanism is how you make sure it never traps you again. Step 5. Reclaim your space. Start taking up space again. Express opinions, make decisions. Prioritize your needs without apologizing. Every time you do something that the old relationship would have punished, you are healing. Every moment you trust your own perception, you are healing. Every time you choose yourself, you are healing. The covert narcissist is invisible until they're not. And by the time they become visible, the damage is already done. But here's what they could never take: your capacity to understand, to grow, to finally see clearly. That clarity is what brought you here today. And clarity is the one thing they can never gaslight away. You weren't crazy. You weren't too sensitive. You weren't imagining it. You were targeted by someone who was very, very good at being invisible. And now, you can see them. That changes everything. Welcome to clarity. If this video described a relationship you've been trying to make sense of for years, drop a comment right now and type, "I finally see it." Because you do, and that's everything. If this gave you clarity, hit that like button. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more dark psychology that exposes what most people never see coming. On Hidden Truths Mindset, we name what happened. We explain why it happened, and we show you how to make sure it never happens again. The next video goes even deeper, inside the covert narcissist's mind. How they think, what they feel, why they chose you specifically. That video is coming next. Subscribe so you don't miss it. You finally see it. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Welcome to clarity. I'll see you in the next one.